In our previous class, we have discussed on the introduction part of our files, okay, why the necessity of the files are there in C programming, why we need to use, okay, and then also we discussed about how we need to process or how we need to handle the files in step by step way. Okay, the stdlibh, the header file, includes the necessity library functions to handle the files. Okay, in order to make that particular file working or accessible to the program, we need to declare a file pointer, right? The file pointer, again, it is a data type which is placed in the standard library.h header file. In order to operate input or output operation, first we need to open the file using the function called as fopen. The fopen function takes two parameters. First is the name of the file and second is the mode in which it is opening. The mode indicates or implies the purpose of opening the file. It can be for input operations or it can be for output operations. That is, we have the other operations as well. Apart from reading and writing, there are other operations that we will discuss later. If we want to open the file in read mode, we need to represent it as R. So here R indicates that the file is being opened. This particular file is being opened in read mode. Read mode means once the file is opened, we can access or we can use that file for reading the content so that the processing can be done on that particular input. At the time of opening, there can be two possibilities. One is the file can be opened successfully, or file may have, at the time of opening, there might be certain errors, right? If there is an error, then this fopen function returns null value. This fopen function returns null value. So we need to check whether the file opening is successful or not. If the file pointer fp, if it is having a null value, that means the file is not been opened properly. There are some errors. If so, then obviously we cannot perform any other operations on such file. Means we need to exit from the program. In order to implement that, we write a simple code something like this. If fp is equals to null, then we can display an appropriate message there that file opening error something, and then exit from the metric. Exit from the program. Then if not so, if the file open, if this particular function is not returning a null value, means file successfully opened, then we can perform the intended operations, that is input or output operations. And once all operations are performed, before we close the program, we need to close the file. In order to close the file, we need to use the function called as fclose. So fclose means close the file pointed by the corresponding file pointer. Okay, now we will go through a simple demonstration wherein opening of the file and closing of the file can be done. Okay, now let us write a program for that. As we know, we need to include the header file. So included the corresponding stdlib header file over here. Then remaining things we need to perform here. Now first, let me first write the commented lines. What are the things we are going to perform here? First is that we need to declare a file pointer. We need to declare a file pointer. Secondly, once the file pointer is declared, next we need to do what? We need to open the corresponding file, right? So next, open the file. Now, once the file is opened, then we know that there are two possibilities. File is opened successfully or file is not opened successfully. In order to handle that, we need to validate that. So we can say simply that a validate file opening. We can check whether there are any errors or not. If there are no errors, then we can perform input output operations. Okay, and once the operations are performed, the last step would be what? Close the file. Close the file. So these are the things we are going to work it out. Okay, now let us write the corresponding code for each of these sections. Students, are you following now? Are there any difficulties? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, now file pointer, first we need to declare it. So we know that the file pointer can be declared by writing its corresponding data structure as file in uppercase, followed by the pointer. Pointer means there will be an asterisk. Then since it is a file pointer, I will write it as FP. So FP, when I read it, I will understand that, okay, it is a file pointer. Okay, as simple as just declaring a file pointer here. Once that is done, next step is what? We need to open the file. Okay. Now, how do we open the file? Can you tell me what is the function we need to use?
fopen.
Fopen, right? So fopen is the function which takes how many parameters?
Two parameters.
Two parameters. So both the parameters have to be written within the double quotes, so that we can write here. The first parameter is what?
Name of the file.
Name of the file. Assuming that the name of the file is text.txt, this is my assumption as here. Then assuming that I'm opening the file in one of the operation called as read operation. Okay, now these two are my assumptions. I am assuming that there is a file by the name text.txt and I am opening this particular file for read operation. As we know that this fopen returns something, right? That is location of this particular file. That has to be updated where? That has to be updated or assigned with the file pointer which we have declared earlier. So fp is equals to fopen, the name of the file, comma, the mode in which we are opening. Okay, now, so the file is, we are trying to open the file. Now we need to validate whether the file is opened successfully or not. I can have simple condition if this fp contains null, that means the file is not successfully opened. Suppose if the file is not opened, what will happen? This fopen will return a null value that will be stored in the fp. We are just trying to check whether the fp contains null or not. If it contains a null, then what we need to do? We cannot perform any operation. We need to exit the program. So let us print a statement saying that printf. Okay, let's mention that file opening error. Some messages we can display here saying that, okay, user will come to know what has happened there. After that, exit one. So this exit one, when this particular exit one is encountered at the time of execution, the program will get it terminated there itself. It will not process further. It will just stop there itself and the program will come out of the execution environment. Okay. So this will happen when the file opening errors are there. If not, means if the file is successfully opened, then we can perform certain operations. Now we don't know, as of now, we don't know how to perform input and output operations. So simply what I will do is that I will write one printf statement saying that file opened successfully. A simple message I will just display. If this message is displayed, if this particular message is displayed, that means the file was opened successfully, right? If it is not displaying, means definitely exit would have executed saying that the file was not opened. Okay. Next, we need to close the file. To close the file, we need to write f close and the file pointer which is being pointing, that is fp in this case. So this statement, when it's executed, it will just disconnect that file from the program. It's simple. As in previous class we have discussed that we need certain mediator, right, to just connect that particular file with the program. That mediator was fp earlier. See, this statement establishes the connection. This particular statement, that connection will be broken. So now the file is nowhere connected to the program and it has been closed. And the last statement will be return 0. Okay, understood, students? Very simple statements I have written here for the demonstration purpose. Now let us try to compile the program and check it. So I'm just compiling from the terminal here. Let's say gcc and the file name here is 21. Say 21.c. Let's see if there are any errors. There are no errors, no warnings. Let's go for the execution. Let it prompt for the proper messages. Now, there is file opening error now. Why this particular file opening error is coming? Because what has happened? It is trying to open this particular file, correct? Which by the name text.txt. And the program finds that there is no such file at all, and you're trying to open, then it will say that file opening is not possible. So this fopen will return the null value, and that null value is getting updated to fp. And we have the condition, if fp is equals to null, then it will just simply says file opening error and exits the program. Because if I look into the this one, let's see, is there a test.txt? Okay, there is a test, but what I have written is text. Let's say, let me replace this one now. Test.txt now I am making. And now the test.txt, this particular file is present here. Now if I run the program, let's compile the program and execute once again. Let's see what message it will give now. File opened successfully. Now we are seeing the file opened successfully because this particular file test.txt, it is now present in this directory where my program is saved. This is the directory or the folder where my program is there, and in the same folder I have test.txt file. So it is trying to open this particular file, which was successful. Since it was successful, this if condition will not get executed, it will proceed further, and this statement will get displayed, and then later the file will get closed. We can even have one more statement here just to print the file is closed. One more statement, we can just have it here. File is closed. Okay, now compile once again and execute. File opened successfully and file is closed. Okay, now suppose if this file is not present, as I said earlier, suppose if I remove this particular file, I'm just removing that test.txt file, and if I try to execute the program, we can see file opening error will get displayed because the file which I'm trying to open doesn't exist at all in the folder or the directory. And if an attempt is made to open, then definitely the fopen function will return 0 or the null value to its file. Understood, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now onwards in our program, which involve the file input output operations, we will have this code as a standard. Like there will be a file pointer, then the file will be opened, then the validation has to be done, and the file has to be closed at the end. And we are going to learn something called as input and output operations, which we are going to write certain code over here. So as a standard, now file *fp is a must. Opening of a file is a must in whatever mode we want to open it for. Then validating whether that file opening is successful or not, that is also a must. And then the closing of the file. Understood, students?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now let us learn some more new concepts now. The next things are input and output operations, IO operations on files. Since we are discussing upon the file, that means we want to use the files for input and output operations, right? So how we can handle the input and output operations, that we are going to learn now. Let me try to write something here in a not exactly diagrammatic way. Let's say we can have two types of operations basically. The input and output operations are broadly categorized into two different types. The first type is, we call it as unformatted IO operations, that is input output operations. And second one is called as obviously the formatted IO operations. Unformatted input output operations and formatted input output operations. And again, under the unformatted, we have one more classification called as, let me write it as 1.1. Here we have classification as character oriented IO operations. Character oriented IO operations. And the second one is, let me call it as 1.2 as integer oriented input output operations. Okay, now again in the character oriented, since we are talking about input and output, now let us see what are the functions which are available as a character oriented for input operation. So let me call it as, for input operation we have two input and output operations, we have two functions again here. The first one is, we call it as get C. Okay, pay attention students, it is called as get C, and the second one is called as put C. These are pronounced as get C and put C. In the same way, for the integer oriented input output operations, we do have two more functions here. Those are called as get W and second one is called as put W. Okay, now coming on to the formatted input output operations. In the formatted input output operations, we have two functions. Those functions are called as fscanf and second function is fprintf. Okay, let me explain all these in detail, what they are. Okay. Input output operations. Input output operations means what? Reading and writing. Input means reading operations. Output means writing operations. Okay, suppose if there is a file and I want to read the content, so we call it to be a input operation, right? So those input operations can be performed as well as the output operation, that is writing some content onto the file, can be performed on the files in two different methods or two different types. That is called as unformatted and second one is formatted. Okay, in the unformatted we have two different sub classifications which are called as character oriented and integer oriented. So basically the character oriented and integer oriented means what? The character, whatever the data we try to manipulate either for input or output, all are considered as character data type itself. Whereas for the integer, they are considered to be the integral numbers, the integer numbers. Okay, then the other one, that is formatted, here we have two functions, right? This formatted will help us in read in our own manner or in our own method. Like if I want to read certain numbers in a decimal points, fractional points, as a string points, whatever the formatted options we want, we can read it using, or we can read or we can write using these two functions. Okay, now coming on to these two functions here, get C and put C. Understand, theoretically these two are important, all these functions are important. Once you understand the theory behind that, then only you will be able to understand the programs related to this. Okay, now the first one is get C. Get C means what? It is a character oriented input output operations, right? As you can see, the name specifies get. Now what can you relate, students? There are two functions, one is a get and other is a put. So we are discussing something input and output. What do you think, which one is the input function and which one is the output functions among these two? Can you think of?
So get is output.
Get is output, okay. Put is input as per your understanding, right? Any other thoughts, students? Now assume that there is a particular file. There is a file, right? Say the file name is test.txt is the file name. Okay, suppose it has certain content. My name is, okay, my name is Prakash. It is the content of this particular file. Now, if I want to perform input operation, that is, if I want to read, what I need to do, I need to get the contents from this particular file. I need to get the contents from this particular file. That means there is a function called as getC. So getC means it is used for input operation. It is used for input operation. Input operation means what? Reading contents from the file. If I want to read certain contents from the file as a character oriented base, then I need to use the getC function. This getC function reads exactly one character at a time. It reads single character at a time. Means we can't read multiple characters at a time. We can only read only a single character at a particular time. Means what? I can read first M, then I can read Y, then I can read space, then I can read N, hence so on so forth. I can read all the contents, all the characters from the file if I make use of gets. Right? Now, let us try to understand the syntax of this particular getC. Okay, there is a proper syntax in which we need to use this getC here. Okay, now the getC function, let me write the syntax here. Syntax. The getC function takes one parameter. Okay, it takes one parameter that is nothing but the file pointer. Let me write the complete file pointer as the parameter, and then it returns the character what it has read. So we require a character variable in which we need to store it. Okay, I can generally write it as a var here. Var is equals to getC file pointer. Now let us try to understand what this file pointer means, what this particular var means. Okay, since we want to read content from the file, that means the file should have been opened. If file is opened, if we want to open the file, then there should be a file pointer associated with that, right? That particular file pointer, whatever is associated with the corresponding file, that particular file pointer will be the one of the parameter of the getC. Okay, for example, in this particular case, in this particular program, I'm trying to open the file here. In what mode? Read mode. Read mode means input operation, right? When I'm opening the file, then there should be a file pointer associated with that. That means there is a FV here. This FV is a file pointer which is pointing to this particular file, which I can use for read operation, right? So that particular file pointer, I need to pass it as the parameter to this particular file, this particular function. Once the file pointer is given, the job of this particular getC is what? It will read what? Single character from the file. It reads single character from the file. Means assume that it has now read the character M. Once the character M is read, I have to store it somewhere, right? As it is a getC is what? It is a character oriented. I require a character variable. So I require a character variable in which I can assign or I can store this character M. For an example here, let's consider an example and understand. Let's say example, assuming that there is a file pointer, say assume, these are all assumptions, and just let me write it. There is a file pointer FP, and we have written a statement where FP is equals to F open, right? Then the file name, assume that file name is test.txt. Okay, and then it is opened in read operation. And assuming that if this particular statement, this operation is successful, that file is opened successfully, then I require one more variable, say character ch, and in this particular ch, I can write as ch is equals to getC and fp. So now what this getC fp will do? This getC will take the parameter fp, which is pointing to this particular file. Okay, and from that file, it will read the first character m, and that character will be assigned to ch. Now in my program, I can use this ch to manipulate the content. Understanding, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me remove this one and just put as this much itself. Okay, syntax and example. For the point of examination, students, okay, let's discuss about the point of examination. You may get a 2 marks question. Okay, explain get C with syntax and example. Then you are supposed to write what get C does. So get C is a character oriented input operation. It is used to read the content from a file. It can read single character at a time. It takes one parameter as file pointer, which is pointing to the file, and it returns the character. It returns the character what it has read, that has to be stored in a character variable. This will give you 2 marks. Following, understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now let us understand the next function. The next function here is put C. Now can you tell me what this put C can do? We discussed now get C. Now can you tell me what this particular put C can do? It is used for input operation or output operation?
Output operation.
Output operation, right? Put means what? There is a file, and onto this particular file, I want to write certain content. I want to put certain content. That means I have to use put C function, right? So output operation, it is used for output operation. Output operation means what? Writing contents on to the file. Again, as it is a character oriented, I can only write how many characters? Single character or one character at a time. I can write single character at a time using the put C function. Okay, now let us understand the syntax of that and then followed by its example. Syntax. Here, syntax it is little bit different than the get C. The syntax is put C, and this particular syntax or the function takes 2 parameters now. The first parameter is what? Variable. Second parameter is file pointer. Second parameter is file pointer. First is the variable, second is the file pointer. It is something like this. Now, I have a character. I want to write that character onto the file. Then I need to know which character that, so that character can be stored in one of the variable. So this variable, what it does, it stores the character which has to be written on the file. Which file? The second parameter, that is a file pointer. To the file, whichever that this particular file pointer is being pointing at. Right? For an example here, if you look at again, suppose if there is a character variable, say char ch, call it as, let us assign a value as a. It is a single character, right? So it is placed within the single quotes. Now this ch contains a, and this value a I want to write onto the file. Then what I can do? Then I can write a statement put c, which will take 2 parameters. First one is the variable, that is a var here, comma, then the file pointer. Assume that fp is the file pointer. Again, fp means what? We should know the previous statements, like fp is been declared as a file pointer and the file is opened successfully using the fopen function. Then only I can use this function to perform writing of a single character. So this is, I can call it to be an example for the demonstration or understanding the file pointer. Understanding, students? Here it is ch. Following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If there are any doubts as of now, please do ask. Let us discuss on those doubts and then only we will proceed further. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, this get W, put W, we will discuss in another class. I don't want to combine these explanation again with this one. So whatever we have discussed, understand those concepts and keep it in mind. The syntax of using get C, syntax of using put C, what get C does, what put C does. Okay, fine. Apart from this, I just want to introduce to one more general topic here, one more concept basically. If I want to perform input operations, right, then that means what? If I want to read certain content, say hi, hello, these are the two lines of a file. Assume that there is one particular file. Let's say, let me try to make it proper way. Let me create a file test. Okay, so in this file, now there are what? Two lines in this particular file, correct? Now, if I want to start reading the content using the get C, what I can do at a time, I can read only one character. So first I will read H, next I will read I, right? Next I will read again a new line. Basically this from here it is coming to the H means there is a new line character, and then again H, E, L, L, O. Up to this O, I will read the content. Now after O, obviously the file pointer will move on to the next character of the file. Now tell me, are there any characters after O?
No, sir.
No, right? That means the file is getting terminated at O, right? After O, there are no characters. That means there will be a special character called as EOF, called as EOF. EOF means end of file character. This character is invisible or it's a non-printable. We can't see that particular character. If you consider any file, at the end of the file, there will be a one special character called as EOF. What is the purpose of this EOF? This EOF will tell to the program at the time of execution that the file has reached its end. At this point onwards, there are no more characters. So you can stop the operations, whatever you are trying to perform. Suppose if you are trying to read, so after O, it will encounter a special character by the name EOF, means you stop reading itself. This is one of the special character EOF, end of the file. There is one more special character called as EOL. EOL means end of line. End of line means, now here you can see there is hi. After I, the next character is on the next line. That means after I, there is again one non-printable character called as EOL. So what this EOL indicates to the environment, execution environment, that after I, there is a end of line character. Means now you have to move on to the next line and then start performing the operations. So these are the two important concepts that one has to remember, because these will be helpful in order to perform input and output operations. EOF and EOL. These two are non-printable characters. Non-printable means these are not visible to us. This is not visible to us. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Enter your attendance,
Yes, sir.
students. enter your attendance. In tomorrow's class, we will discuss how we can make use of these get C and put C. Okay. I will give you a simple demonstration on get C and put C, and then I will move on to the next set of functions, that is get W and put W, and then followed by F of printf and F scanf. Now, let us try to recollect what are the things we discussed today. Broadly, can you tell me the classification of input-output operations on files? The broad classification. What is the
Sir,
broad
unformatted and formatted.
Unformatted and formatted.
Formatted.
In unformatted, what is the subclassification?
So character oriented and integer oriented.
Character oriented and integer oriented. Very good. Now, can anyone else try to answer? What are the functions related to character oriented input-output operations?
So get C and put C.
Get C and put C. What are the functions related to formatted input-output operations?
Get W and put W.
Understand the question, students. I asked not the integer oriented. I asked formatted.
F scanf, P
F
printf,
scanf,
and F
F
printf.
printf.
Yes, I know the students how they will answer. So only I am just testing the questions here. Okay. How many parameters put C will take?
So 2 parameters.
What about get C?
1 parameter.
1 parameter. Does put C return anything?